All right, here we go. Happy Sunday, guys. We got a little early look at the Monday market report. This time for the week ending February 25th, 2024. Surely going to be the last MMR for the month of February, and that's cool because, this report is a great way to end off what has been quite a busy month of just incredible coins. Now, if this is your first time here, we've been doing the Monday market report for a really long time. It's probably been about 7 years. It's one of those videos I do each and every single week to help kind of showcase what the overall coin market is doing. So normally we focus in on the more modern era of coins, generally those that fall within the year 1900 and beyond. Beyond being, much more current dates. Just last week we had a Jefferson nickel bearing the date 2012 that ended up on the list. So you just never know what you're going to find. New coins, a little bit older coins, but yeah, it's all within about the last 120 plus years is what we're covering here on these videos. Every single coin today is graded by some of the top grading companies, PCGS, NGC, the new CAC-G also out there. The occasional annex will pop up as well. But generally, every single coin is going to be graded, and that helps bolster not only the legitimacy of the coins being sold, but ultimately it makes the value and the desirability at its very crest. And what else can we say? We have a pretty nice list, with all of the big shows coming up. It's kind of crazy that, even auction sites like Great Collections, can fit in what they can. But this is, ladies and gentlemen, the kind of one of the busier times of the year. This and, the fall season always ramps up after the summer. It's always crazy. But between now and May, typically is one of the busier times of the years. We call this the coin show season. Because we have the Colorado Springs A&A Money Show, one of the bigger ones throughout the year. Central States, the Whitman Baltimore Coin Show is another big one. There's a lot of shows that's going to be popping up here over the next couple months. And because of that, there's a renewed sense of interest all throughout the hobby. And with precious metals kind of floundering around, numismatics, that's where it shines the brightest. And, I'm glad to see a lot of banging coins here today. So, like we normally do on these videos, I like to give a little bit of a notification. I sell on the platform Whatnot, and, we have one show this week, and it falls on a Tuesday. I won't have a Friday show. We call it Leap into Bargain Coin Auctions, kind of an ode to leap year, seeing as how we have 29 days in the month of February. Might as well do a little play on words with it. So that happens on Tuesday night, February 27th, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Your boy Blue is going to have a really nice selection of coins at all price levels, but we try and keep it very affordable for folks that have a very limited income or they have just a little bit of money to work with. So come join us on Tuesday night. It's always one of the popular shows that I do throughout the week. And, hopefully you guys will see something there you might like. If you're going to be a brand new signee to Whatnot, go ahead and check out my referral link down below in the description box. You can earn yourself some exclusive store credit that you could use right away, courtesy of your boy Blue. So I appreciate you guys. Come check it out. And I appreciate to all the folks that have been buying from me over the course of the last 9 months. It's been a lot of fun. All right, let's go ahead and jump right in. We have a 1995 Lincoln Memorial Cent. This one, no stranger to the MMR list. This one is the FS101 doubled die obverse. We should all be familiar with this coin by now. It's funny because pricing on these stay relatively consistent all the way up to about mid-state 67 plus. Now, once you hit like 68 and 69, especially because it's the top grade, that's where things kind of go nutty. All right. So, there's there's a lot of these out there in much lower grades. If you wanted a more affordable specimen, you can find one for generally under $100. But when it comes to coins like this, that might have a general need in a Lincoln Cent registry, people are bound to, kind of open up their wallets. They'll open up their checkbook. They will write a big fat check for some of these just so they can add some extra points into the registry set. So this one right here is a 69. It's a grade point away from perfection. And this one, folks, ended up selling for $2,031.74. So, as you can see, it's a rich man's sport. There's a lot of money flying around here in registry sets, and even varieties is not immune to it. Their varieties are kind of a necessity for a completionist's kind of, project. And this is one of them right here. And same goes for this one. This is, for all intents and purposes, the finest known doubled ear 1984 Lincoln Cent. And it sold in the end of February. How cool is that? You would think that this one would be a sale later on in the year, but it had to be sold, and now was that time. Mid-State 68 plus, full red. It's the FS 101. You can see the doubled earlobe right there. Pretty easy, very distinguished, and again, another high-end bomb for a registry set. It's also CAC certified as well. And because of that, this one ended up selling for $9,282.38. It has to be one of the top-selling 1980s coins. There's very few of them that kind of sit right around $10,000. You could add this one to the list. But there are a few coins. So it's a close one. It's like a 20-man race, for spot number one. And this is yet again another coin that nearly hit the 5-digit number. So we have a 1953, 50s, Philadelphia, Lincoln Cents. Again, they're really tough. The quality was not very good in these. So finding one that would even grade anything above a mid-state 65 is really a fool's challenge. If you were trying to do it and do it for yourself, and your grading game isn't high and tight like some other folks, this is one where you could get burned pretty easily, because you do need a 67. It's 67 or bust on these 1950s Lincolns. So this one right here is a 67 red. Most importantly, it's got a CAC green bean sticker as well. So this one sold for $2,461.50. Another big one for a registry set. All right, we're going to go back 25 years early. This is where the smokers finally show up. 1932D, man. This is a lot tougher date than it looks. And you get into any of these earlier 30s dates, and we're not talking 1934. We're talking like 30, 31, 32, and 33. If you're able to find any of these in 67, congratulations. That's a hell of a find. And very rarely do they pop up at coin shops or shows. It's anybody's guess where a lot of these coins did come from. They've been passed around a few times. It's just going to be a matter of what the state of preservation is going to be on these examples. So this one right here is an old grade. This one is probably graded 30, 35 years ago. It's in an OGH holder. Mid-State 67 red, CAC certified. It's probably the most gorgeous 32D that I've ever laid eyes on. And I've seen quite a few of these, not only in hand, but in auction settings like this. Again, we're selling on great collections here. These are all great collections, realized sales here for this evening. So this particular one right here, obviously a registry set, necessity, $6,468.75 was your final hammer. And we also have a Philadelphia. Again, another really tough one here. This time, we have a coin that ended out pegging the 67 plus grade, okay? Early 30s Philadelphia coins are a little bit easier to get and in slightly higher grades. Kind of like a 180 degree change from the 50s, where Philadelphia's were the crap quality. You can't really say the same in the 30s and 40s. So this one, 67 plus, full red, CAC certified, and this one sold for $9,655.88. Again, the prices just continue to rise on these coins, and I feel like there's no slowing them down. And yeah, 31S. This is one of the lowest minted keys of the series. A lot of them were saved in high grades because people did know that it was going to be a very exclusive, very, very low mintage coin. This is a coin that has a mintage under 100 or under a million. Sorry. But yeah, this one right here is a Mondo example as a 66 red, CAC certified. This has everything that you want, obviously. And how about $3,684.38 with the sale on this one? And finally, we have a 30D. This is actually the last 1 cent denom on our list here today. And this one comes in the way of a 67 red. Wow. You know, you could kind of make the argument that a 1930 dated coin is no better than anything from the 20s, you know, because it's kind of like a little mini extension thereof. But this is such an incredible coin. We probably see one of these per year if we're lucky. All right, 30D is no slouch, and this particular one ended up hammering for $15,825.38. Such a beauty. All right, we do have a few nickels, and, you know, in the same show, there were two 1938D Buffalo nickels, both the same grade. One is a D over S over mint mark. That's a very popular one. We also have the D over D RPM. You're never going to guess which one out of the two ended up selling for the most. Now, we all think that the over mint marks, the sexy, you know, D over S, you know, and various other weird, funky combinations, those seem to have a lot more clout in the marketplace. But again, it really comes down to availability and rarity. And the D over S is one of those coins that has been seen in much higher grades. All right, so that one in the 67 plus may not necessarily be the top pop. Now, the 38 D over D, this is kind of a different story. We don't see too many of them in 67 plus, but here one is. This one also has a CAC green sticker. And this RPM ended up selling for $2,314.12. It beat out the D over S Buffalo by about $500. So quite a big margin there. 3070, another big variety. I'm telling you, varieties are hot right now. We have the three-legged buffalo. I mean, we all know this. And it's unmistakably a very notable variety. You know, there are certain die markers on the coin that pretty much give you the thumbs up, the high sign, you know, that you have a good you know, legitimate example. And then I've seen some pretty bad counterfeits. There's just no comparison. It's like night and day. So this one here, a 64 plus, CAC certified. This is kind of a tough grade. It's much more common in VF and XF condition. Therefore, you know, it's the kind of coin that's a little bit more affordable in those grades. But this one right here, folks, $11,261.25 was the final sale price of such an incredible example. And 35D, believe it or not, is a very tough date for any higher grades. And again, this is a registry set necessity. 35D is a lot tougher than any other dates beyond it. 36, 37 in Denver's are quite common in grades up to 66. So this particular one also exhibits some really nice, light, very inoffensive toning, which I personally like. You know, it just adds a little bit of that extra skin on there that shows that this coin has never been dipped or tampered with. This one sold for $10,919.25. And here's a 34 as well. Just another little bit tougher date. You're going to notice that the quality is dramatically different between this and a 35 or 36. Again, this is more of an extension of what kind of quality we saw from the 20s in Buffalo nickels, and this was no exception. PCGS gave this one a 67 grade. It's a very clean looking example, and this one sold for $2,257.88. We do have a pair of really beautiful V-nickels, and it's very rare that we have an occasion such as this where we're able to highlight two of the chase-worthy Liberty Vs out of the entire series. Now, the big reason why that these are on here is that they're the first ever nickel to exhibit a physical mint mark on the coin. This is the 12S. This is the big one right here. This is no granny. This one is this is the big key date among a few different key dates for the series. This one just so happens to be a PCGS Mid-State 66 example. I mean, you know, we've seen a few of these sell over the course of the last year or so, and they all seem to be like 63, 64 grades, but yet they're still over $1,000 easy. So a 66 has to be something, and for extra measure, CAC certified as well. How about $10,531.12? Just again, this coin screams invest in me, and I won't let you down, because you just don't see these in a 66 grade. And here's a 12D, you know, quite a bit more available across most grades. But 66, this one's pretty tough. It's not as tough as the 12S because of the relative, you know, availability of the things. I've owned a couple 12Ds in mid-state grades, and, you know, they can be affordable. You know, pick up a mid-state 62 or 63 for a few $100 and you're going to feel pretty good about it. Again, the first state to highlight an actual physical mint mark on the coin, you know, pretty relevant here. $2,271.38 was the final sale price. And again, this is probably the only instance out of the 6-7 years I've been doing the MMR where I featured both the Denver and San Francisco Liberty Vs in one show. And that is kind of, kind of funny. We do have a couple dimes. Roosevelts have been highly neglected here recently. I haven't seen a gosh darn good example to talk about. All right, so we have a 1950D. Finally, we have something to sink our teeth into. This one has a little bit of that thick, old, crusty toning that's developed over many decades. This one, however, graded as a 68 with full bands. Keep in mind, there's a strike designation on Roosevelt dimes. So this one, my friends, ended up selling for $1,298.25. Yeah, one of the bigger ones here in recent memory. And it's anybody's guess why this one ended up on the list. And I'm going to tell you this, that Mercury dimes with color are something of a completely different animal. This one, I love it. You know, some people don't like the toning, but in this case, I'm willing to make an exception. It's blue. There's little hints of olive green in there. Such a pretty coin. This one, NGC, our first NGC grade, is a Mid-State 68 star. The star denotes eye appeal and full bands. All one coin. This thing is loaded with all sorts of stuff on the label. It's kind of cool. $2,373.75 was the final sale on this. I'm going to go on a limb and say it's worth every single penny, all 10 pennies of them. 1937, we actually have this one here to talk about as well. The toning just adds that flair of originality to it, and I think that's important to a lot of collectors who's looking for something that hasn't been dipped or tampered with. So this is a great example here. Now, it is just a Philadelphia 37, so, you know, if you wanted to, you could go online and pick up a really nice, clean-looking BU lustrous 37P for around $30. Okay, they're out there. Even I had to buy one, and it's for my wife for her set. So this one here, $1,773. Okay, and that has everything to do with the grade, which, by the way, is a huge 68 full bands. Quarters, we do have a couple of them. Actually, that's how we're going to end off things here on the MMR. How about this 44S? This thing is thick with toning. Love it or hate it. That's going to be the theme for this one, as it showcases a lot of color, but it's kind of like on the more darker side. And that's not everybody's cup of tea. But it is on the list for a reason. NGC graded this one as 68 star. And I'm happy to say this one sold for $3,487.50. And thick original toning on these coins. It doesn't matter if the crowd that loves them shrinks by 50%. It really does matter the people that have the cash to spend if they want to add this through the registry set. 43D, yeah, another big one here. And 43D BU coins with color can be added for an affordable amount of money, $30-$40 on certain occasions. But you find one that is nary a nick or a contact mark, and you are on easy street. Mid-State 68 by PCGS on this one, and it brought in $7,724.25. Another very original, what we call an album toner, based off of where the toning is on it. And here's a scarce one too. I totally forgot that this one existed. And pick up any BU 57D and always look at the reverse. You might end up with the re-engraved tail feather variety 57D Washington quarter you see here. It's also known as the FS901. It's a cherry picker's guide variety. It doesn't look or scream like a rarity. When you look at the coin, and irrespective of the variety, just by looking at the coin, you would figure, oh, this is an album filler, right? So it's a 64 grade, and it's still managed to sell for $1,406.25. Kind of bringing to us a little bit of, notification on this one that it's all about the variety and the rarity, right? Because I've looked through so many 57D Washington quarters, probably closer to about 1,000 of them, and have never found a re-engraved tail feather FS901. 38P, earlier dates, definitely a little bit tougher in the grade department, especially when you're looking for things like a Mid-State 68. Okay, it doesn't matter if it's Philadelphia, Denver, or San Francisco. They're next to impossible to locate raw. This one right here is a huge registry set win. Whoever got this one definitely got a coin that, is going to end up beating a lot of other people's. $9,844.88. Again, they have the money to throw around, and why not? If there's only 2 or 3 of them in existence, this is a huge power play here for something that is more bragging rights than it is a grand prize. And finally, we're going to end it off on, just a rather pedestrian Standing Liberty quarter. You probably saw the label. It is indeed an 18/7S. One of my favorite varieties. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 65. CAC certified. When you look at the last digit of the date, you can kind of see that overdate there pretty cleanly. It's got a nice skin to it, thereby muting the luster on a little bit of its outward appearance. But yeah, this one sold all okay. I mean, it's a few dollars, a few $1,000. Here on this one. I figure if we were going to end the show on some sort of note, why not make it a 6-figure kind of price tag kind of coin? The 18/7S Standing Liberty quarter variety, this is a good one to end it off on. I've actually been looking and staring at this thing for the better part of the last 2 weeks. I'm like, yep, this thing is going to sell for more money than a lot of people make, in 6 years. And that's kind of sad too, because this is a lot of money, So that's kind of how we're going to end things off on the Monday Market Report for the week. Again, the video is for entertainment purposes only. Information provided is not financial advice. I want to stress that. Of course, please grade and collect responsible if that's your thing. And that's it, guys. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silverhound. I hopefully you guys enjoyed this edition of the Monday Market Report. It was balls out, just awesome. A lot of good coins. Again, kind of highlighting where we're at in the market currently, which is on Easy Street. I'm saying, I mean, if you got some of these coins, it might be time to cash in because everybody's paying moon money for a lot of these, and that's okay. If they got it and they want to flaunt it, then hey, just indulge in it. That's it. I'm out of here. Again, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. But you guys have a pleasant rest of your Sunday evening. If you're watching this on a Monday, have a great Monday. Don't work so hard, and I will see you guys on the next coin video. So long.